So the project I want to work on today is starting this brand new sketchbook I have. And as you can see, it's a pretty black sketchbook. It's black front, back, and side with a little logo on the back. And then the inside has this white paper that can lay flat. I thought it would be fun to draw on the cover, the side, and the back. I like to put the sketchbook and the number on the side. These are Posca pens, and as you can tell, the more I use it, the more it wears off. So the plan for today is to try and design something that won't rub off. And then if we have time, we can go ahead and start the sketchbook and draw on the very first page. Now, instead of doing like a full-on illustration, my plan was more to do something decorative and like thematic, so it can have like a similar theme that goes around the entire sketchbook, whether that's like flowers or stars or explosions. Either way, I think it'd be cool to have like the word sketchbook here. And I think I'll just go ahead and paint that in right now and see what that sparks with this thin paintbrush. Alright, so there we have the letters. Looks pretty good. I like it. I might go in actually with another color, like a little bit of a darker blue, and add some gradients to the bottom of it. I'm really liking that. I just want to incorporate some like pink now to like make that greenish blue pop. Like so. Just a cute little patterny theme. Nothing too crazy. I want to keep it pretty simplistic because I want the sketches on the inside to speak for themselves. Maybe add a couple more hearts here and there. And then we need to add the writing here, which is what I really want because I want to see if this lasts better than the Posca pens. This is acrylic, so it should be pretty permanent, but this is a location that's going to get a lot of wear and tear, so we'll see. Not sure how to do this. How do I go about this? Add a heart here. Posca pen's definitely easier to work with, but hopefully these will last longer. Just want to continue these hearts, make it more of a pattern. Originally it was kind of sporadic, but then I tried to even it out so it's more of a pattern. I think it just looks cute. What would be kind of funny is if one of these hearts is like this green color. Which one? Maybe this one? I was trying to fix this heart and I made a mistake. Alright, don't do that again. So far all I've done was paint on the outside to kind of like customize it and label it. This is sketchbook 22. Now before I start sketching on this main page, which is where I'm going to create the illustration, I do like to create little thumbnails. That was like a thumbnail for the front cover that I didn't actually end up using. But I like to create thumbnails to kind of help me decide what I want to draw before I start adding in an entire illustration here, because when you start big, sometimes you don't realize exactly what you're doing and you can make mistakes a lot easier, and I don't really like doing that. So instead, I'm going to create thumbnails so I can make little mistakes before I work on the big drawing. I do want to try and take inspiration from this cover with this teal color and the pink hearts, and maybe some of these like polka dots. Okay, does I have the band-aid or the wound is uglier? Now something I always like to do on the first page is kind of make it a welcoming. So like I always like to write welcome to my sketchbook on there. Sometimes it's in a speech bubble, sometimes it's just, you know, there as graphic designy sorts. It would be kind of cool if we have a portrait. It's looking this way, and what's kind of cool about that is it's leading your eye to the next page, so it makes you kind of want to like scroll through it. So I might go with something like that. I also might try a couple things, and then we'll move on to the actual page. Alright, so I think I've come up with something I kind of like. I just really want to draw some overalls. And I want to try and use the color scheme that I used on the cover for this. I think it'll be a lot of fun. But I also kind of want to use markers. So we'll be translating that paint color to a marker. I think it'll be fun. So the first thing you want to do when you're translating a small thumbnail to a larger piece of paper is you want to be very loose and make sure that you fit all of the elements onto this page, the same way that you fit it into that square. I'm always very light with my pencil. I just try to get the basic shapes out first, including like words. Because if you don't like the way it looks, you can always change it, especially when you're starting very light. I actually want to create this drawing a little bit bigger. Just need to erase it. Because I really want to focus on the hearts that I'm going to use as the freckles. And block out some of the and then I just go through everything and slowly chisel away at it. And I don't want to focus too much on doing just one element. You really want to bounce around, at least I do. Because if I spend too much time on one little spot, I'll notice something else is off. And sometimes when you need to move one thing, you end up having to move everything. I really want to go over everything and just slowly like make my way around the drawing and not focus too much on one specific location. Try to make it sure it looks the way that I intend it to. I think I'll extend it onto this yellow sheet since I don't really have any plans for that currently. Chunky hair bits. Nothing I like drawing more than chunky hair bits. And I erase some of the bits that are kind of distracting, so I kind of a better look at what it's going to look like when I do like the line art. Now the first page in the sketchbook is like kind of the one where I put the most effort into it. I kind of try to treat it as like a actual finished illustration, although for me that's still pretty sketchy. I don't go take it too far. But I really like to make that first sketchbook something fun. But I also don't let it worry me if it doesn't turn out the way I anticipated, because there's still a lot more pages to, you know, make up for it. I want these to be overalls, so I need to make sure I include the straps, even though you're not going to be able to see most of the outfit. That actually affords me the opportunity to really spend time making these straps look very detailed. Like one of those thingies. Slider? I don't know what it's called. This is reminding me of another drawing that I made. I wonder if you guys can find it. Mostly because I'm picturing this in like pastel colors. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. This is a problem I run into a lot. Whenever I draw at my desk, I tend to draw things elongated this way because I see it from an angle. So my angle that I see it looks kind of like this. And so certain mistakes are a little bit more difficult to see than when you see it from above. So if I look up at this monitor here where the camera is, I can tell that this neck is too long. Usually I like to check up there a little bit more often to make sure that I'm doing all right, but I accidentally had the monitor closed, so I wasn't looking. And now I notice that this neck is too long. And I really like both the head and the torso, but I think I'm gonna have to go for it. It's gonna bug me too much if I don't, so. Let's go through, lightly erase. This is kind of what I was talking about when I said you need to go around the whole piece so that this never happens, but this I'm noticing at the very end, so it's a little bit of a different scenario. I'm not going to erase it completely so that I can still sort of see. So basically what I want is the shoulders to be almost here, probably. Yeah, I think that does like a little bit more sense. From my experience, it's almost never too late to fix a mistake. It's just trying to decide whether or not you're feeling up to taking the time to fix it. So that would be more like here. Now something looks weird and stiff. Something is not right. I think that's better. That looks better. Yeah, much better. Okay. Let's figure out where these straps go. Sometimes it can feel like a little bit of a letdown when you have to fix something that major. But I'd rather fix it now. I just need to go in and do the detail on these straps again. And then I think we should be able to do the line art after that. With the thingy here. Thingy, I don't know any of the terms for this. Even though I've actually made my own pair of overalls once and I had to buy this stuff and I've already, that information is gone. I don't remember what these are called. Slides and hooks or something. I feel like there's something else. There we go, we made some progress. I want this striped shirt. There we go. Took a little detour, but now we're here. So everything's fine. All right, line art time. Lightly erase, I can still get an idea of where the lines are. And then start adding in line art. Make them curve up at the end. I don't like to draw realistic eyelashes. I feel like it just ends up being too distracting. So I like to just give it a little curl at the end, giving the illusion of something. I'm not trying to realistically render it. I think I'll do the heart freckles all in marker. So I'm not gonna worry about lining those. And then do one of these space buns here. I don't know if I want to draw like a scrunchie or something. It could be cute. I'm trying to put a lot of detail into this. It's probably gonna make this look undetailed, which means I might have to compensate up there. We'll see what happens here. I'm actually kind of enjoying this part. Usually I find line art kind of boring, but because I'm like putting so much more into this, it's kind of more enjoyable. Try and get this heart. Oh, okay. And this side, freehand. Good enough. I think I'll go ahead and use the, no, this one's a brush pen. It kind of, like some sections are further in the distance. I'm gonna add a bit of a line there. And this should add some more texture to our line art. All right, so now the line art is done here. I want to try and color swatch some of my Copic markers to see if I have any that match that. All right, I think I got it. These guys right here, if you're interested, are the colors I'm going to be using. And then I'll probably pick some skin tones or something later and see what I think will look good. I pictured pink hair. Pink, blue, pink. Or blue, pink, blue. Yeah, why don't we go blue hair? Blue hair it is. This could look really cool if I do this right. I'm gonna hold my breath. We'll get through this. Hopefully this is all dry properly. And it won't bleed. And blend it out with the lighter color. This one must be going dry. It's squeaking something fierce. Gonna fill in this tiny streak there. And then for extra dark bits, I also have that color there, Jasper. What are these two? Ice Mint and Moon White. Just keep switching between the two and blending them out. That's the technique here. Moving right along. Footloose and fancy free. Moving right along. Can even use the darker color here. Blend it out with this one. Perfect. Ooh, wrong one. This way. Might actually even grab our third tone here. Color in right there and right about there. I wonder if I should have grabbed a different color to try and match tones on the yellow paper. That could have been interesting. Ah, there's the hair. I might go over that again later after we've done some more of the drawing to see if that needs to be darker. But for now, I can put these guys away. Move on to some pink, which I want the overalls to be pink. And start working on those. Cool thing about doing your very first drawing in a sketchbook is you don't have to worry about ruining the sketch on the other side. No worries. Hakuna Matata or whatever. Do need some shading here. So I'm gonna have to grab a darker color. We could even actually try and use our mid-tone blue. Which one was that? Like this one. Add some shading. That way we're not bringing new colors into the drawing. Now for the shirt, I want it to be blue and striped. So I'm going to take our lightest color and our darkest color of blue to do that. And then just try to draw as perfect of a line as possible. Okay, that looks like someone. There is someone who wears an outfit that looks very similar to this. And that was not an intention. I can't even think of what it is, but it's looking very familiar. Is it Amelia Bedelia? That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Now we use our our light blue-green to color in this area here. The extra stripes. Oh, you know who wears an outfit like this? The Muppet Babies babysitter. I swear, I gotta look that up. Not exactly the way I thought it was, but I mean, there's some similarities there. It's so funny. I'll just go in there with our darker color. Add some extra bits here. Probably use this color for one of these hearts. Oh, look at that, love. Problem with trying to do light skin tones is you always blend the line art. Like no matter how long I've waited for it to dry, I feel like these lighter colors just do not cooperate. Not quite dark enough. Let's try, this is one of my favorite colors, Baby Blossoms. Just try to avoid the lines for the most part. I don't want to make a mess. You ever wondered what the Muppet Babies babysitter's face looked like? I can't get over that. That's so funny. Muppet Babies. I think this is working better as a skin tone for this drawing because I was using this pale chiffon, but it's more on the yellow side, whereas R00, pinkish white, is on the pink side, and pink is one of the colors in our color scheme here, so it's working pretty well. I need to fill all my markers. They all squeak. Muppet Babies is before my time, but I was lucky enough to have a VHS growing up. This is actually the episode where they go into a bunch of movies like Star Wars, and that's right, Indiana Jones was there. I loved that. That was really good. Ah, what happened? No, no, no. Let's get it off, get it off, get it off. I think I want the bright pink for the lips. Which one did I use? Oh no, it was this tender pink, yes. I know, because I love that color. Ooh, look at it. I can use some green here in the eyebrows. I feel like this part of the drawing is really squashed. There's like a lot of white space there that I could have stretched that out a bit. Shading here. Try and blend it out a bit. And should we use maybe green for eyeshadow? What was the other color? This one? I think it was this one. Alright, now the only thing we're missing is the freckles there. How do I want to go about that? I might at least start with, it'd be cute if they were pink, so I guess we could go with the pink we've been using. I'm going to use the chisel and I'm going to use the very tippy tip of it. And just draw some little hearts like that. Can you see it? I'm going to draw a bunch of these. Try not to do too many, but also not too little. There we go. Pretty cute. It might be fun to grab that green color, use the chisel side, and add some stripes that kind of like follow along this stripe. I can't go straight. There you go. Maybe add some like hearts, subtle background hearts. I really don't know what I want to do with this part, but I do want to write the date. The other thing I do is always write the date that I start the sketchbook and the date that I end the sketchbook. And I think there'd be room right here with the stripes. Maybe even have it come off of this heart would be cute. So it's February 26th. And I'm hoping to finish this in this 2019. So I'll just write 2019 at the end when I do the next date. Then I'll have a little dish. And then on this little line there is where I'll put the date that I finish it. And there we go. Yeah, there's my new sketchbook. I'm excited. I love the color scheme. First page of many. I love looking through the sketchbook and wondering, the infinite possibilities. What drawing is going to be right there? And sometimes when I do that, I like to leave a little like hint so that I remember this was the page that I thought about. I got a little heart. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys all next week. And I hope you have a delicious evening full of waffles. Bye!